My name is Olga, and I'm standing here today because I'm terrified. Since I was a child, the winters have become shorter and the catastrophes have been bigger. I was taught that the woods are the lungs of the planet, and now I see the forest being burned down and chopped down, both in Amazonas, in Sweden, and in Sapmi. Now we can all see how the world is changing in ways that we can never turn around. The world is vast and different, but some things are the same everywhere. The people who have done the least to create this crisis are being hit hardest. I'm standing here today because I'm terrified and sad. People all around the world are dying because of choices made by someone that they have never met. As always in catastrophes, the most vulnerable people are being hit hardest. It's children, women, poor people who do not have the chance to move, to grow, to fight back, because they are already fighting to eat, to breathe, to stay alive. The climate crisis and the extinction of species are not only natural, but also a humanitarian crisis. There are already 4 times as many people fleeing from natural catastrophes than from war and conflicts. This number will only grow. I'm standing here today because I'm terrified and angry. Forget about climate anxiety. I'm feeling frustration and fear and grief and anger. And these are just feelings when people are dying. Like many of us, perhaps just like you, I live with the feeling of a clock ticking down inside of me. A clock ticking towards a point where it might just be too late. And that is terrifying. It's paralyzing. And it makes it so much easier to just want to turn around and look the other way. But one thing is certain, that's not going to save anyone. We need to act now. And here is the thing. In action, there is hope. When I started to act together with others, my climate anxiety lessened, and I started to believe in a future again. I'm standing here today because I'm terrified, but I'm also hopeful. There are ways that we can create change, ways that have worked before. The rights that we take for granted, the fact that I can go to school, that I can vote for my prime minister, these rights were fought for by other people. And I am so thankful to these people of the past. I want to give back to them by taking on the biggest challenge of today for the people of tomorrow. Today we look back and we see heroes. But at that time, these people were considered troublemakers. They show us that you cannot change a situation by following the rules that created that injustice. Inspired by people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King, we must dare to break rules so that we can change the rules. Because these people have showed us that it works. And also that you cannot do it alone. We need to remember that the civil rights movement and the suffragettes, these were not a few loud voices. They were mass movements. They were people's movement. And the fact that they were a lot of people was so important in achieving their victories. And I'm hopeful because so are we. I'm terrified, but I'm not alone. So many people are standing with us around the world. For some it is dangerous. Fighting for the climate can get you killed. But the option is worse, of doing nothing. That is certain death for millions. So really, what choice do we have? If we here, who have the fortune to live in a safe society with a strong and fair justice system, if we do not protest now, with all the means possible, who is going to do it? And when are they going to do it? I am terrified, but now is the time to be strong and brave. If you feel energy and courage right now, you have to use that. Think of it like a wave. and let that carry you to the next thing, and people will meet you there with more energy and more courage. Tomorrow there is a meeting, an action training held by Extinction Rebellion. Join us there, and we will help you find a place in this movement. We will meet at 10 o'clock outside Curiosum. The people there, more information over there. And we will teach you everything you need to be a part of the change. And while you're riding that wave, let it take you all the way to the end of April, where we are going to Stockholm for a massive action to end subventions to fossil fuels. Umeå is going, and you should be a part of this, because this issue is part of all of our lives. The time to be terrified is over. Now is the time for us to be brave, because the world desperately needs brave people like us right now. Thank you.